Everyone thinks the smartest people in the room just know more. More facts, more books, more degrees, more everything. But that is not true at all. The real difference is not what they know. It is how they think, how they read situations, how they handle the moments that throw everyone else off. You do not need a perfect memory. You do not need a fancy school. You do not need to be born with anything special. You just need to think the way they think. And today I am going to hand you the 5 mental tricks that do exactly that. These are not hard. They are not complicated. But almost nobody uses them. If you start using even one of them, you will feel the shift this week. People will start asking for your opinion. Problems that used to stress you out will look smaller. You will catch things other people miss. So sit back, give me the next 6 minutes, and I will show you how to think like the top 10%. Before we jump in, I want you to understand something. The reason most people stay stuck is not stupidity, it is habit. They react the same way every time. They ask the same questions. They watch the same signals. So they get the same results. Smart people just run a different mental program. Same brain, different software. And the wild part is, you can install the new program in a single afternoon. You just have to know what it looks like. So here are the 5 moves. Watch how each one is the exact opposite of what most people do. Trick number 1. The magic question. Most people, when they are trying to figure something out, ask themselves the obvious question. How do I succeed at this? How do I make this work? How do I get the answer right? Smart people flip it. They ask the opposite question. How could this fail? What am I missing? Where would a smart person look that I am not looking? This sounds tiny, but it changes everything. The moment you ask how something could go wrong, your brain starts looking for cracks instead of just hoping for the best. You see the blind spot. You see the catch. You see the trap that everyone else walks right into. The next time you have a big decision, do not ask if it will work. Ask how it could fail. If you cannot answer that question, you are not ready to decide. Trick number 2, the 10-10-10 rule. Most people react to a problem with the size of the moment. A bad text, a rough meeting, a small mistake at work, and their feelings explode like the world is ending. Smart people pull out a tiny ruler. They ask 3 questions. Will this matter in 10 minutes? Will this matter in 10 months? Will this matter in 10 years? Suddenly the problem shrinks back to its real size. Most of what stresses you out today will be invisible by next week. And the things that will actually matter in 10 years, those are the things you should be giving real energy to. 90% of people are sprinting through small fires and ignoring the slow burns that change their life. When you run the 10-10-10 check, you stop wasting energy on noise. You start putting it where it counts. This one trick alone will give you back hours of your mind every single week. Trick number 3. The steelman move. Here is what most people do in an argument. They hear what the other person says. They twist it into the dumbest version possible. Then they attack that dumb version and feel like they won. Smart people do the opposite. Before they say a single word back, they restate the other person's point. Not the weak version, the strongest version, better than the other person said it. And then, only then, do they respond. 2 things happen when you do this. First, the other person actually listens to you, because for the first time, they feel understood. Second, you find out if your own opinion can even hold up against the best version of the other side. Most cannot. And that is humbling, but it is how real thinking works. The next time you disagree with someone, before you argue back, repeat their point back to them stronger than they said it. Watch how the entire conversation changes. Trick number 4. Read behavior, not words. This one is huge. Most people listen to what people say. They take the words at face value. They believe the apology. They believe the promise. They believe the "I will get back to you." Smart people listen to words, but they read behavior. Because here is the truth. Words are cheap. They cost nothing to say. Behavior is what people are actually willing to pay for. If someone says they care about you but never shows up, the behavior is the truth. If someone says they want the job but does the minimum, the behavior is the truth. If someone says they have changed but the pattern is identical, the pattern is the truth. The trick is simple. When words and behavior disagree, behavior wins every time. Watch what people do 3 times in a row. That is who they really are. This single shift will save you from more bad decisions than any IQ test ever could. Trick number 5. And this might be the most important one of all. The pause protocol. Most people live their whole life on autopilot. Something happens, they react. Someone is rude, they snap back. They get a text that upsets them, they fire one back. They feel an urge to buy something, they buy it. Smart people install a gap. Between what happens and how they respond, they insert a pause. Sometimes it is 3 seconds. Sometimes it is a full day. But in that pause, they ask one question. Is this the response I will be proud of tomorrow? That is it. That one question turns reactive people into powerful people. The person who can sit in the gap is the person who runs the room, because every other person in that room is being pulled around by their first emotion. The one who pauses chooses. The one who reacts gets chosen for. If you only take one trick from this video, take this one. Build the pause. Try it the next time someone says something that makes you feel hot in the chest. Do not answer. Count to 5. Breathe once. Then ask yourself if a calmer, smarter version of you would say what you are about to say. 9 times out of 10, the answer is no. And you save yourself from a mistake nobody else would have caught for you. So here is what all of this means. You do not need to be a genius. You do not need to know more than everyone else. You do not need a single thing you were not born with. You just need a better mental operating system. Ask how it could fail before you ask how it works. Run the 10-10-10 rule on every emotion. Steelman the other side before you fight it. Trust behavior over words. And always, always build the pause. Do these 5 things, even badly, and you will quietly start outthinking the room. People will not know what changed. They will just feel that you are sharper, calmer, more dangerous in a good way. That is what real intelligence looks like from the outside. Not loud, not flashy, just hard to fool. Notice that none of these 5 tricks ask you to memorize a thing. None of them require an app or a course or a single dollar. They only ask you to slow down for 1 extra second and choose a smarter move than the obvious one. That is the entire game. Most people are sprinting through their days on autopilot, and the autopilot is built for someone else. When you switch it off and start steering, you stop being one of the 90%. You become the 1 in 10 that everyone else cannot quite figure out. So here's what I want you to do right now. Pick one. Just one. Do not try all 5 this week, or you will drop all 5. Pick the one that hit you hardest while you were watching, and run it for the next 7 days. Watch what happens. And if this video gave you even one new way to think, hit that subscribe button. I make a new one of these every single week, and the next one is going to flip something else in your head. Tell me down in the comments which trick you are running first. I read every single one. Now go think differently.